crypto needs to get back to its roots. It needs to get more decentralized and more open source. This makes crypto strong and is the opposite of blockchains like Solana, where you can take a timeout and pause anytime you want. The Open Network, a new blockchain built by the Telegram team, is a layer 1 platform made for decentralized communication. This project has been shooting up the CoinMarketCap. Find out why in this video. Let's get it. Welcome to Crypto Christopher. My name is Christopher. Today we're going to cover TON token, or the Open Network token. This token was built by the Telegram team, and there's also an important historical lesson that comes along with this. Initially, this project has been an ICO for private investors, and the SEC actually shut it down completely. So the brothers who created Telegram, Pavel and Nokila, they're back with a newly introduced version of the project. There's a little more friendly towards regulations. So what is TON? It's a dual layer 1 and layer 2 project built from the ground up to become a decentralized hosting and storage solution for messaging. You have the shard chain, which handles smart contracts, and the master chain, which handles consensus. Telegram was made to be a private messaging app, and TON was born out of that same premises. TON makes its own digital economy and is centered on user control. TON blockchain, well, it's got full NFT integration, smart contract support, tokenization, and social networks, messaging apps, cross-chain bridges, internet protocols, including TON, DNS, TON, proxy, and TON websites. And of course, it has blockchain storage. So I guess you could say TON is a fully featured blockchain with all the bells and whistles that you could ever want. Let's talk about the tokenomics for a moment. Right now, at this time of recording, there's about 1.5 billion in the market cap for TON token. Max supply is 5 billion tokens, and the circulating supply is 1.22 billion, almost 25%. Current price is $1.40, and it's reached its all-time high of $5.84, basically the same time as Bitcoin. November 12, 2021. Like I said, the SEC crackdown its 2020 prevented the team from distributing tokens. A lot of projects would have just given up at this time, and I personally expected Telegram to give up, but they didn't. They kept fighting. They put their tokens into what's called proof of work giver contracts. These relied on proof of work mining, and this is the key to what allowed TON to begin redeveloping in 2021. After the SEC crackdown, so the TON token was of course created by the Telegram team, but right now it's totally open source. The dev team itself is decentralized. They're all around the world, and a lot of them are anonymous. In this chain, we've talked about a lot of being concerned about anonymous developers and the team members, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Here, we want people to be known. Why? Because that allows them to be held accountable if something goes wrong. So what's been happening lately with TON? Well, they just had a gigantic hackathon that led to the development of TON stablecoins and community coins. The first IDO on the Open Network, well, it sold out in 4 hours. So TON is a decentralized project that got a really strong community. It goes very well with the roadmap with a lot of real solid use cases. It's even an EVM, or Ethereum Virtual Machine, compatible blockchain, and already built into the Open Network is the ability for it to scale at a much higher level than Ethereum. And all this means that TON gives more power to the individual and communicate in a censorship item way. TON has a lot of major backing and was on pace to be one of the largest ICOs in history before SEC came down on them. So now they've already fulfilled what the SEC wanted. This project can really get up and running and not have to worry a lot about the regulatory requirements. So this is not a project that we have personally added to our portfolios right now, but it's definitely on our radar and could be one of those to watch. So alright, that's all I got. Stay blessed. Christopher out.